We interrupt the internet with breaking news.
This just in, a mountain lion took the scenic route through San Francisco real estate. Scientists made an artificial cornea out of fish scales because medicine has entered its seafood era. And in North Carolina, people are now bathing in forests because a regular stress apparently wasn't artisanal enough. Good evening, everybody, or whatever time it is where you are courageously pretending the world makes sense. I'm Bob, and tonight I am once again stepping into the ring with the news, which continues to behave like it got kicked out of 3 different group chats. I come in here every night prepared to fight nonsense. Then the headlines show up wearing glitter, hiking boots, and the eyes of a bass. And somehow I'm still expected to act like this is a normal profession. I will try. No promises. Our first story comes from San Francisco, where a mountain lion wandered into Pacific Heights like he had a brunch reservation and opinions about school districts. The neighborhood already sounds expensive. Now it comes with a mountain lion? That is not a housing market. That is downloadable content. And I love the phrase wandered into Pacific Heights, like he was just looking around, like he had a fleece vest on and was comparing hardwood floors. And then he got trapped between buildings, which is the most San Francisco sentence possible. Even the wildlife can't find affordable space. Somewhere, a real estate agent was trying to stay positive. Okay, yes, the HOA is aggressive, but the local lion really speaks to the area's natural charm. Back to the scoreboard before the cat asks about property tax. Bob lands first. Clean opening jab. The mountain lion had presence, but the news loses points for turning a luxury neighborhood into National Geographic with valet parking. Scientists in Spain have developed an artificial cornea made from fish scales. I'm sorry, what? Fish scales? Medicine has officially started shopping at the market. Imagine hearing that from your doctor with no warning. Good news, we may be able to help. Bad news, the prototype sounds like a sushi appetizer. And I know this could eventually help people, which is great, truly. But the headline still feels like science spun a wheel and landed on salmon vision. I'm just saying, if I ever hear your procedure went well and also you are now technically a little tilapia, I'm going to need a minute. The part that really gets me is that this is being developed as a lower cost alternative. So now the fish market might become the most emotionally complicated aisle in human history. You're there for dinner, and next thing you know, somebody's like, no, not that one. That one's for eye research. This is what science does to me. I'm trying to be impressed, and I am impressed. But I'm also mildly offended that the future apparently smells like the dock. Let's go to the scoreboard before somebody invents contact lenses made of crab legs. Big swing for the news. Bob came in ready, but fish scale eyeballs are elite level absurdity with sneaky medical usefulness. In North Carolina, people gathered for something called forest bathing, which, to my understanding, is walking outside but with better branding. They had a guide. A guide. 4 trees. We now have outsourced being outside. And this guide had a tiny brass bell. Of course she did. Because nothing says serenity like sounding like a cat approaching enlightenment. Participants were crushing conifer twigs, smelling them, touching trees, breathing deeply, which means the forest finally got revenge on humanity by turning us into the weird ones.
So forest therapy at its core is really a nature-based mindfulness activity. So it's actually a lovely way for people to reconnect with nature, to reconnect with aspects of themselves.
I'm not mocking it. I'm just saying, if you told my grandfather you paid money to smell a twig and listen to a bell in the woods, he would have said, that's called getting lost. My favorite part is the phrase forest bathing. Bathing suggests water. This is not bathing. This is hiking after a rebrand by someone with a candle line. Still, I get it. The world is stressful. Maybe we all need a little time outside. But once I seen a grown adult reading a book in the crotch of an oak tree, I reserve the right to ask whether the leaves are also charging admission. I barely survived that segment. Scoreboard, now! Bob claws back into it. Strong late round, but the Muse still leads by one because forest bathing sounds fake even while it's happening. And now 3 cheap shots from a news cycle that absolutely cheats. Warsaw Zoo has a bird ER drop-off now, which means pigeons officially have better urgent care logistics than some humans. A zoo in Hungary gave tortoises a full spa day, proving once again that slow living is for the wealthy. And on Long Island, rescuers were trying to rehome more than 450 pet rats from one condemned house, which is not an animal story. This is a landlord's nightmare with whiskers. That'll do it. Bob fought hard, but the news closes strong with medical birds, pampered tortoises, and enough pet rats to start a subway union. What we learned. Never trust a neighborhood so fancy, even the mountain lions want in. Science will eventually turn the seafood counter into a medical wing. And if somebody invites you to a forest bathing, ask one question: towels or lies? The news wins tonight on mobility, fish-based medicine, and its ongoing refusal to act like a mature information source. The judges score it for the news by unanimous chaos. Bob survives, but reality retains the belt. Until next time, I'm Bob, reminding you, stay alert, stay weird, and if a mountain lion shows up in your neighborhood, let him finish comparing listings. Good night.